New features have just landed on the Waze app. I'm going to show you how to use them and what these updates actually bring. Waze has released features that will completely transform the way you use the app. One of the most anticipated updates is about speed cameras. Just imagine knowing exactly what type of camera is ahead of you. Speed cameras, red light cameras, and even the new noise cameras, Waze can now do that. Today, we're going to break down 6 new Waze features that will completely change the way you drive. We'll see where to find these options, how to activate them step by step, and most importantly, how they can save you time, money, and stress behind the wheel. One of these tips is almost unknown and could save you from a hefty fine this year. Let's start with the first one, obviously the most anticipated. The first new feature Waze has just released concerns speed cameras and traffic enforcement cameras. When you go into the settings, you can open Alerts and Reports. Once you're there, tap on Reports, and you'll notice that there are new options in the reports you can make. In the speed camera category, here's what's new. We now have a whole series of small icons representing cameras by category, so red light cameras, stop sign cameras, mobile speed cameras, and so on. There's a full list. This will be visible in the United States and in Europe, except in France because the government prohibits it. A second new feature in the Waze app is related to voices and sound. We now have the ability to record our own voice. You can record navigation instructions to use them yourself or share them with other Wazers. When you activate this, it asks for microphone access, and you'll be able to record a full set of instructions so that your own voice is played in the app instead of an AI voice or one selected from the menu. Still in voices and sound, this is one of the biggest updates that has been made to the app. Quick important side note. In a previous video, I showed you several Waze settings that cause issues for a lot of people. I've put everything together in a clean, step-by-step PDF with images. I also added settings that I don't talk about on YouTube. If you want Waze to be properly configured once and for all, the link is right in the description. Now we have the ability to use Google Assistant. That means when you say the famous OK followed by the keyword, I'm not going to say it, otherwise it will activate. Now, by giving microphone access, we can use our voice to report an accident, a traffic jam, or any obstacle on the road just by speaking. Before, you had to pick up your phone, tap on Report, choose the category you wanted to report, accidents, traffic jams, and so on. Now, everything can be done using just your voice, which avoids looking at your phone for a few seconds, and even a few seconds is already too much. So now it can all be done with your voice. You can say something like, "Okay, report an accident at my location," and the AI that's now built into the Waze app will automatically understand that you're reporting, for example, an accident or a traffic jam at that spot. It will do it instantly in the app without you having to touch anything. It's a real comfort when you're driving. It avoids touching your phone and losing focus even for just a few seconds. And I also think it will make map updates easier. We'll have more detailed maps because users will find it easier to report accidents, traffic jams, or other issues on the map. They'll probably be more complete since people using the app will do it more often, so it's a great update. Still, in voices and sound, another new feature is that there are now many more voices available. You can now see names like cat voice, dog voice, there's a whole list. And to answer some comments, people often ask me if it's normal that you can't preview the voice you select. When you tap on a voice, you can't hear what it sounds like. Well, that's still the case. I still haven't found a solution. If anyone knows a way to preview the voice before selecting it, leave it in the comments. That would be really interesting. Because when you tap on one, I'm not tapping now or it would change my current voice, but when you tap it, it just selects it. You can't listen to it first, so you don't really know what you're choosing. If someone has a solution, feel free to share it in the comments, because so far, I haven't found one. Another great new feature that was released recently can be found when you go into the settings and scroll down. Look, now we have the audio player. This allows us to link the apps we have on our phone, like Amazon Music, Audible, or other radio apps. They've added quite a few of them, even YouTube Music. You just need to install the app if it's not already installed, and you'll be able to listen to it while navigating. Basically, you just tap here and the audio player will connect to the app you've chosen. As you can see, I have Spotify on the screen. This lets you have music at the same time as the GPS. I think it's pretty nice, because before it was either one or the other. Now it seems that we can preload our route when we have internet. We could already do that before, of course, and we could do it anytime. But now you can load the route while you have internet, and if you then go into an area with no internet, apparently, I haven't verified it, the app would still work even without internet. So is it just for a short time, or does it work the whole way? Once you load the route with internet, you might be able to use it without internet. but I haven't been able to verify this new feature yet. If someone has already tested and confirmed it, leave it in the comments. It'll help everyone. As for me, I haven't checked it yet. I've also been asked about adding a stop. That is, when you already have a route running and you're driving, if you want to add a stop, you just need to slide this bar here. Now we've added a stop. You tap on it, and at the very top, you just drag it. You can add parking for those traveling in a camper van, for example, supermarkets as well. There's a whole list. And you can really choose a lot of options, especially for people with electric cars. Charging stations will be identified on the map, and by zooming in, you can clearly see all the stations with charging points. In the settings, I mentioned this last time, but I'll repeat it, you can choose the type of charging you want for your electric car, meaning the type of plug or the power level. Everything is configurable in the settings. Just go to Vehicle Information, Electric Vehicle. There you'll see a plug type, and if you tap on it, you can choose other plugs, so you select yours. That means when you search for a charging station, it will only show stations that are compatible with your plug. What I was explaining about adding a stop is very useful for people with camper vans who want to mark drop-off points before leaving to avoid searching along the way. It's very practical, and everything is configurable directly from the app. You just need to take 10 minutes before leaving to mark the points, and the whole trip will be smooth and well-planned. I've also been asked a lot about the speed display while driving. In the settings, then Map Display, when you select Speedometer, you can show your speed, but you can also show the speed limit, either always displayed, only when you're speeding, or you can hide it completely. And the speeding alert is configurable as well. The speeding threshold can be set to 5 km per hour over, 10 km per hour over, and so on. Basically, the speeding threshold is adjustable right there. If you want it to beep only when you're 5 km per hour over the limit, so it doesn't beep all the time, that's where you set it, by selecting 5 km per hour over. Personally, I prefer to set it right at the limit, so I drive a bit under and stay relaxed. Another very useful feature that helps avoid being sent onto small roads that are hard to drive on, almost unpaved or not really roads at all. I'm not sure if this was there before. Tell me in the comments if it was already there, because I don't remember. But now, in the settings, under Navigation, there's this small option, Unpaved Roads. When you tap on it, you can choose to avoid roads that are not marked as paved. In other words, normal roads. By enabling this, you avoid being sent down tiny paths. And that's not a bad thing, because sometimes it really messes up and sends us onto completely impractical roads. You can still check Avoid Toll Roads if you want to avoid highways. There's also an option that is checked by default, if I remember correctly, Avoid Difficult Intersections. I personally never enable it, because if it avoids difficult intersections, that's usually when it sends you through small side roads. So I leave difficult intersections enabled, meaning it stays on normal roads. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm in taxi mode. I'm not a taxi driver at all, but I noticed that in taxi mode, to stay on the same category of paved roads and avoid small paths, taxi mode keeps to the main roads, even if it's a bit longer. This mode really helps avoid a lot of small paths and keeps you on normal roads, so I stay in taxi mode. Everyone can choose their own mode, but in private mode, it often sends you onto dirt roads that are frequently impractical, and I couldn't stand it anymore. In taxi mode, that doesn't happen. There's also motorcycle mode for riders. I'm not a motorcyclist, but I assume it helps by adding different information about road conditions or dangerous areas. For those who want everything in one place, I've grouped the settings from previous Waze videos with additions that I don't show here. The link is in the description. I wish you a great weekend and see you next time. Bye!